Today on the channel, hot off the truck from the Black Widow movie, Melina and the Red Guardian. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today we've got a special 2-pack, hot off the truck via Big Bad Toy Store, Melina, Red Guardian, Black Widow, Marvel Legends 2-pack. But remember, for all your Marvel Legends needs, this one included, hit up Big Bad Toy Store, support the channel, link in the description below. So this, like a lot of Marvel Legends, we're seeing it all over the place with the new Disney Plus wave, the Villains wave, this 2-pack, and others. Supposed to be an August release. I believe August 5th was the street date or the release date on these. Got moved way up into May, and like out of nowhere, this hit my mailbox and it's here. So everything seems to be pushed ahead about 3 months, and I wonder about some of the latest releases that they announced. The Ironmonger, Captain America, Walmart exclusive, some of those. Will those be moved up to maybe June time frame from the September time frame? I guess we'll wait and see, so stay tuned to the channel. As you know, we'll be unboxing those as well. But this is a pack that I immediately said, and maybe you guys were in the same boat as me, that said, oh, I already have the Black Widow wave. I don't need Melina. And that's what they're doing here. This is a bit of a cash grab. Everything's a cash grab at the end of the day. We're all in it to make money. If you're working for a company, you're not a nonprofit. You're trying to make money. So cash grab isn't quite the right word, but we got Red Guardian before, and it wasn't quite the Red Guardian we really wanted, but here we are a year later, getting more akin to the Red Guardian we wanted. And I should take the big step back. The Black Widow movie isn't even out yet. We've had figures for over a year. Obviously, that's because of COVID. It's been just a really weird release with these figures. Some of them went to clearance, and then the Black Widow movie is going to come out, and then there's going to be a lot of people wanting the figures. They're not going to be there unless they re-release them. Just a very weird time. And you got the Shang-Chi stuff on the pegs right now that are kind of rotting away from what I'm seeing out there in my figure hunting videos. And that movie comes out in the fall. It's just a weird MCU mess right now with COVID. And this one I think they said, hey, we need to get something out for the movie release. Something around the movie timing. Melina must be a character in the movie. I'm not familiar with her. So we'll talk what we can about her. But we're getting her out, but then we're getting Red Guardian. It's the Red Guardian everybody wants, so it'll force everybody to buy this 2-pack. That's kind of the way I see it. I'm okay with a couple different Red Guardians. I could have an unmasked one on my shelf plus a masked one. That's kind of how I justify it in my head. Maybe you guys do the same thing. But anyways, we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, see where it goes from there. So very traditional Marvel Legends 2-pack. We've seen them before. We'll see them again. We'll see a lot of them coming up very soon, more in the box 2-pack. But this is the old school 2-pack look. You got Black Widow on the front. You got Red Guardian and Melina. You got the Marvel Legends logo up top. You got tons of accessories with these figures, so that is a cool thing. So we'll dive into those, see what those are all about. On the very top, you got that Black Widow, I guess, Red Guardian insignia. There you go. I'm not super familiar with that, but it is on there. On one side of the packaging, you got Red Guardian. Always liked Red Guardian. Very cool looking figure there. Picture. And then there's Melina. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Melina. I'm sure she's with Yelena Belova and Black Widow, you know, part of a whole team, and we'll get the whole story in the Black Widow movie. Then on the back, you got a couple of glamour shots. They're not promoting anything else down here because I don't know what they would be promoting, really. You can't really promote the old Black Widow figures. They've been out for over a year now, and they're pretty much off the pegs unless you can find them on clearance at a few wayward Targets or Walmarts. We got blurb on the side. We'll read all that. You got the warnings down below, and then a ton of warnings on the bottom that nobody cares about. So let's see what it says on the back of the package here. Red Guardian and Melina. After decades of service, Melina Vostokov distanced herself from the Red Room. But when Natasha Romanoff returns, Melina and Red Guardian must decide where their allegiance lies. So there you go. Well, and then I'm reading here. I was confused because I thought it kept going. But it's English, 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 English. They forgot to put all the foreign languages on there. So they just constantly repeat the same thing. I don't know if we've ever seen that mistake before. Very weird. But yeah, that's obviously a mistake. Somebody missed that in the copyright. So A rare mistake from Marvel Legends there on the old copyright there, but let's crack it open. Let's see what's doing in here. See what all the fuss is about, as one might say. There's that background. Black Widow background we saw on the top. Cool background, but not for me. But I know some people do save those. See you later. Holy cow, we got a lot of accessories here. So Melina has 2 extra sets of hands. Red Guardian has an extra set of kind of heavy metal hands. Like he's out in the middle of the pit, ready to go. Unmasked, ungloved hands. We got this cool grappling gear. This brings me back to my old G.I. Joe days. This grappling gear with the real string connected to it. You got the Red Guardian shield. You got the extra head. Very cool. And we'll pull out the old Red Guardian figure and we'll kind of put that in there. This might be perfect to use on that other Red Guardian figure. A little bit better head sculpt. I think that would go on there, and then I leave this one as is. And then we got this head sculpt, of course. And then he comes with his own action figure of himself. Red Guardian, more comic book accurate Red Guardian, it looks like on first appearance. I'm sure that'll come in the Black Widow movie. I'm not a huge Black Widow guy, not my favorite character in the world. I've read a little bit of Red Guardian here and there throughout the years. But I'm guessing there's probably some scene in the movie where, here's Kyle, fantasy book in the movie, but I'm sure there's a scene where Red Guardian, he's the old superhero, resting on his laurels, you know, the Cold War's over, so he's kind of semi-retired, he's on the autograph circuit and stuff, they make figures of him, you know, things like that. I'm sure that's what's going on. But there's the old plastic prison. A lot in here. I actually like this. I like the looks of this pack a lot more when I have it out. I like this extra figure. I like these extra head sculpts and where I can move around. It looks pretty good. She also has her staff. It looks like it goes together. No, maybe not. These must be like batons. So let's get all these things out of here. Let's see what's doing. Let's get it all out. All these accessories. I like this little figure. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I guess I'll just put it in his hand. He can just have it hanging out in his hand. There it is. There it is. Alright, there's the hands. I'm leaving those in there for now. We'll get those in a bit. See you later. Don't need those hands right now. Alright, let's look at some of these accessories. I want to look at this little figure first. We've got little figures in the past from the Marvel Legends. If you guys think back to the Retro series, we got Wasp and Ant-Man, really small versions. So that's pretty cool. But it's an action figure of an action figure. Very cool. Very small. I mean, this could very easily be lost. I guarantee one day, 10 years from now, people will be saying, oh my gosh, if I just had it complete with that, but I lost that figure. I'm going to have to put that in his hand so he never loses it. We got that Red Guardian shield. Very similar to a Captain America shield. We've had shields in the past. It's got the same effects on the back where you can move it up and down. You can peg it in. You can hold it. I believe this is different than the traditional Red Guardian. We'll compare the shields as well. We got these. I guess they're kind of like battle batons, battle kind of nightsticks. These must be Melina's weapon of choice, these 2 sticks. I like the gray mixed in with the silver. Really makes these pop. If they were all one color, it wouldn't really do a lot for me. Not that this does a ton for me right now, but very interesting. A different weapon than we've seen in Marvel Legends, so I'm okay with that. It looks good. She also comes with 2 pistols. It seems to be the pistols we're used to. I believe Yelena Belova and maybe Black Widow both came with these same pistols. So I'm guessing they're Red Room standard fare pistols. Get the joints here. I don't know this character very well. I don't know the person playing this character at all. So I couldn't really comment on the head sculpt. It looks fine. It's different than the other ones. It does look like these go in her backpack. So you can store those back here. I just noticed that, so that is very cool. You can pull those back there. I believe there's a lot of reuse. I don't have that Melina or Yelena Belova figure in front of me, but I'm sure there's a lot of reuse here. And that's fine. They're a part of a team. They kind of look the same. It makes sense. We got double jointed knees on this one as well for those keeping track at home. We got extra hands, like we said, as well. So you can put her in a lot of different positions. A character, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about, but there's a lot of meat on the bones here. You can get her in some pretty good positions, especially with the double-jointed knees. I like the extra weapons attached here. I like all of her weapons can be stored on her. I think that is always a plus, always a positive. Keeps you from losing stuff. The ankles, I never liked this kind of high heel boot ankle mold. It makes it extremely difficult for figures to stand. I do got a ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle, save 10% on the stands. And she does fit on here, and I think she will need a stand based on the articulation of that foot. It makes it extremely hard to stand here, but You put her on that stand, she stands just fine. So there it is, ringsidecollectibles.com. As we're filming this right now, there's a big Memorial Day sale. A 10-pack of stands is $249, and you can save 10% with discount code Kyle on top of that. So I strongly recommend these stands. Marvel Legends, Star Wars, Wrestling, G.I. Joe, He-Man. The list goes on and on. Now we got this grappling hook, and I'm guessing this is Melina's. I'm not positive, but I'm not sure. It is all twined up. I'm going to keep it like that. Keep it nice and neat. I'll just keep it in her hand. But it's a different thing. We can climb some buildings. We can do all kinds of stuff with that. So I like that a lot. All right, now we're getting to the meat and the potatoes. This is what I've been looking for. Red Guardian. Very, very cool looking figure here. Looks beefy. I like, gosh, I was going to say, I didn't think he had eyes in there. A very beefy, it just feels beefy. Does that make sense? It's not a big character. He just seems solid, like a rock, just a solid. And I love this head sculpt with the helmet and the big bushy beard. I dream of having a beard like this. Work would never allow me to have a big bushy beard like this. I could barely get away with this haircut. My dad always says, how are you employed? How does this work? When you have hair like this, how do you stay employed in your job? And I don't know. COVID has laxed some things out there. Let me know, or I'll tell you right now. Wearing a lot of suit and ties pre-COVID, that kind of stuff, it's all went kind of the wayside. We'll see if it all comes back. But this hairdo is not for the corporate world most of the times. We'll see if I can keep it. I'm going to try to keep it as long as I can. I've always wanted to have long hair before it goes all gray. I figured it was time to get it done. So hopefully I can keep this. Don't know how I got on this rant, but I'd love to have a beard like this. That's just not in the cards for sure. I know that wouldn't fly. But this is a solid figure. I like this Red Guardian. This is actually a very, very solid figure. I'm going to stick him on a ringside collectible stand as well, just to have him standing here. But I like the solidness of this figure. He just feels solid. I don't know if that means anything. You can plug his shield into his back. I like that a lot as well. You got a spot for storage right there. Very cool. Very cool. I like all the coloring. I like the feel of it. It's got that Captain America kind of feel to it with the I don't know if it's ribbing, but the texture of the character. He does have a belt on here. That belt is not removable. And just the colors, the silver, the red, the black, the whitish, the dirty white, it just all goes together. I mean, this is very solid. I like this figure a lot. Very cool. And I do like it more than the last one. We'll compare that, pull that out right now. So there's definitely some similarities here, but there's also some differences. You can see the shield's totally different. This is more of a red and black. This is more of a silver white. I'm going to take that off right now. It feels like it's the same body, but it doesn't feel like it's the same body. I mean, I guess it is the same. I guess just the paint applications and then the grittier head sculpt just looks a lot better on this one. And I believe they said in the past they kind of have to make these figures off of model just because they don't get the spoiler alerts and everything else. And maybe they've seen the Black Widow and they got to go back and kind of retool this a little bit. Because you look at this head sculpt, I mean, nothing against it, but it looks like Dwight from the Marvel Legends team. Maybe that was his ingenious plan. How do I make a figure of myself? And that's where he went in. That's what it looks like, Dwight of the Marvel Legends team. But I like this grittier, hairier version. I think this looks awesome. And my plan is probably I'll put this on there. I don't know if this head will pop off. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will. And I'm going to pop this head right on here. See, that's what I'm talking about. Nothing against Dwight. I love Dwight. One of the best out there. Kudos to Dwight if you're watching. Great head scan. But you pop this one on this one, and man, this is the way it's supposed to be. So then it really dresses this figure up, and I think this will help the resale market on this. This is a very cheap figure right now, but people will want this to use the other head sculpt on. I think it's a great idea. I love it. I'm genius. I'm a genius. I'm sure I'm not the first person to have thought of it, but that was my plan all along. I'll put him on a stand too, just to have. Look at that. Very solid. It's funny how this one, just with the grittier head sculpt and the masked head sculpt, makes it feel like a bigger, more muscled up figure than this one, when basically they're the exact same figure. It's amazing what a head sculpt in color can do for perception of a figure, if that makes any sense. But boy, I like this set. I don't know if this set will be flying off the shelves. I don't know about you long game players. You might be able to get this on a pretty good discount. It hasn't been released via Amazon yet. Like I said, you can get this at Big Bad Toy Store right now. Link in the description below. Support the channel out. But I like this. This is a bit of a sleeper one, and I feel like once we all see the Black Widow movie, I think there's going to be a lot of people going back saying, you know what, I needed these Black Widow figures. I slept on it because I didn't know really what it was about and what was going on. But I just have a feeling Red Guardian's going to steal our hearts. I can feel it inside me right now. He's going to steal our hearts and never let go. So I got to be prepared for that, and get your Red Guardian figures while you can before he blows up. I just can feel it. I can feel it. And Melina's Melina. Better than expected. And I always say better than expected is always great, because I have high expectations. And I figured this would be just kind of an afterthought. But it's got great articulation, good accessories. And I think you put that with some of the other female figures from the Black Widow movie, I think you got something there. So a much solider pack than anticipated, and that is always a positive. And this Red Guardian is the best of the bunch for sure. And I think this Red Guardian is probably my favorite of the entire Black Widow movie wave figures that we've gotten so far. I don't think we're going to get any more. But this Red Guardian is solid. I love the two head sculpts. I love being able to put this other head sculpt on the old Red Guardian figure. So it all works out. So a very, very solid release. You guys, though, in the comments, tell me your thoughts on this release. You passed on this one, playing the long game. Do you need only one Red Guardian, so you're passing on this one? Let me know your thoughts. But like I said, a very solid pack. Better than I anticipated it to be. So it's always a plus when that happens. You feel like you got more bang for your buck when you get stuff like that. So you told me your comments, put them down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got videos every single day. We're unboxing every Marvel Legend. You know how we do it. The crazy life of a completist out there. So I'm all about it. So make sure you're subscribed. Turn the old notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at SirPaul64, Instagram _Kyle_Peterson, and of course belowthecollar.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for the Red Guardian and my pal Melina, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.